And just to go back, because this is important. In 2005, when I was dating my wife, I was in an accident in Big Bear, California, with a couple people. One was my dad in the car. There was another person in the car, and we got rear-ended by this drunk driver, right? And and I went and I got care, and they stretched my back out, and I went to see a chiropractor and all this stuff, and it was all good. I was on pain medication for a little, but nothing like that I couldn't handle or something that I said I needed to have every day. But later on, fast forward to like 2010, 11-ish, I re-aggravated that area in my back, and I went to go see a specialist. They gave me options. The specialist gave me options like, hey, you can have surgery on your back. We can do plasma and nerve burns and this and that, or you can go on pain medication. Pain medication is the least invasive. That's bullcrap. The pain medication is the most invasive thing that can happen to you through the medical profession legally. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that everybody's this way, but I was this way, and I need to share this because if you're going through something like this, bro, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people out there that go through it. They're just afraid to talk about it. A lot of people are afraid because they're going to get judged. They're going to say, oh, dude, that guy does this, that guy does that. Now he has this going on. That's what people are trying to avoid, the judgment part of it. It got bad. It started off nice and easy. I was taking my medication as I was supposed to until I wasn't, until I started self-medicating based on how I felt. Pain medication, you're supposed to take when you're in pain. I took it every day before I even knew I had pain. I just took it because I knew I needed to take it. And that developed over the years into I can't live my life now day-to-day basis without starting my day by taking those pills. My whole day can get messed up because I'm not in my pill state of mind. You know what I mean? So that the fear of having to lose that was what kept me going, along with them upping my dosage every 6 months to where I got to the max amount. Then I started, when I started using it more, I started, trying to trick the system and get a different doctor here, get more pills here, do this, do that. And it all started with opiates, pills, Vicodin, Oxycontin, Percocets, you name it, I had it. And Dennis, and you can vouch for most of that time because that's when I knew you, was during that, some of those years.
Yeah, I remember.
I was in the Romanian community, but I didn't plug myself into the Romanian community, if that makes sense. Right. Like I went to the church because other Romanians went to the church. My wife would go to the church. The kids had their ministry, the kids ministry stuff. But I was never part of the church. Right. I did try a bunch of small group stuff at the church. Harvest was a church, the same church you went to was one of the churches I went to. I got a lot of counseling during that time from there, but not the right kind of counseling for me. At least for me, it didn't work.
Can I stop you there? So that my question was it you don't feel it was right because you weren't honest and open and vulnerable, or because they just didn't know how to deal with it?
I don't think they had the resources, honestly. Okay. They had people specialized in marriage problems and marital issues. And they think, by like telling me, just read these 5 verses, you should be good by next week. No, it's not going to work like that, man. Right, I've done it. I've done it for years, guys. Yeah. Like I went group after group after me. It wasn't structured around an addict. It wasn't. It was structured around marital issues. Maybe there might have been a few aspects like the manipulation part and the lying and all that. That works hand in hand with both drugs and or addiction and marriage problems, so you're going to get that everywhere. But they got to the point where they gave me ultimatums saying, like, if you don't do this, and I'm not going to point to certain people out or whatever. There's great people in that church. There was awesome leadership and for the most part. And then, they say, if you don't do this, we're going to have to tell your wife to do that. Yeah. And I'm like, well, so now what? I'm being threatened. If I don't clean up my act, you're going to tell my wife to move and put, legal action against me and this and that. I'm like, y'all are coming at me at this from a wrong angle.
Terrible.
They came there with a urinal cup, at the meeting. I decided to meet up with them. They brought that plus a
At
hair
your,
sampling
at your
thing.
church?
They were gonna run drug tests to see exactly what I was on and how much I was doing. I said, I'm not doing that. You guys are crazy. I'm done. And that was the last of that.
So, Rafa, can I ask you, at that time, were you doing it just because you had to do it? Your body was needing it, or you wanted to?
I was doing it for the fear of withdrawals.
Gotcha.
I didn't want to go through. And
Gotcha.
when I tell you there's nothing worse on the face of this planet than withdrawals, at least for me, and for a lot of drug addicts, actually, and alcoholics, same thing. The withdrawals coming off of opiates, and I'm not going to go into a lot of the other things that I've used, but at one point I switched from prescription drugs to street drugs just so I can feed my addiction, and it got bad. I mean, there's a list of them, and it got so bad to where, sorry, go ahead. Repeat the question because I forgot what the question was.
Yeah, no, I was curious if you wanted to do it. I mean, you answered the question. You said you wanted to, or you just didn't want to come down from it. That's what you were scared of the withdrawals. So, and then you said you got into the street drugs and all that. Can I ask you how long this was going on for? Like, you think, like, from when you started to
so from 2011 to 2012, there was a bad period, and that was involving again, went to street drugs, and then also remember the bath salt scene?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Remember that? So that was kind of my downfall, that first downfall in 2012. That's where Jenny moved out with the kids, and I think we ended up coming to Cali for a year. We lived out there all 2013 until we were pregnant with Evie. Everything was groovy right then, and then that little window while I was in California, I don't want to say it was Arizona or it wasn't Arizona, but I got out of that element. I got away from those people, those bridges that were just keeping me down. You know what I mean? And so fast forward, we go back to Arizona. I go back to school to finish my schooling. And again, I tweaked my back. I took my back at a restaurant with people that you know too. We were all out eating. I reached over the table. I grabbed the car seat and I heard a tear and a snap in my back. So I went back to the same doctors I was there 2 years prior, and they got me right back on the train, bro. Like not even no effort. They're like, "Oh, we know you," and they started writing the script already. No running insurance, no checking my ID, my address, nothing. They're like, yeah, we know him. Dude. And they're just like it was nothing. They're handing them out like Pez, like a Pez dispenser.
Not to go down this rabbit hole right now, but there's like a huge lawsuit against the company that made Oxy and all that, because it was proven, I think there's a documentary about it. Yeah. It was proven that it was known to be ultra addicting, that they hid evidence about how addicting it was, and that they were giving kickbacks to doctors who would prescribe it, bro.
Yep.
Dude, this is our healthcare system. Yeah. This is how it operates. And when we get screwed up, when people get hurt, when we need help for whatever reason and we go to these people, this is what they do. This is why I was saying before, Dennis, like, dude, Americans, we're a product. We just that's all we are. That's all we freaking are. It's just a way for these companies and this system to make money and to profit off of us. It doesn't matter what they do to us. You think they care about our health? Get the hell out of here. You think they put fluoride? You think they put fluoride in your water because they care about your teeth?
Speaking of teeth, I got none teeth left. I got like maybe 7 or 8 teeth left because of some of the drugs that affect them.
No way. So what did you have to do? Did you have to get surgery, or what do you have? Dentures or what?
No. So what you see is what's real. That's all that's left. Everything that's stories for other times. Dang, and pictures. I'll send you. But so to go back to what you were just saying, it's not only our healthcare system. It's not only right there where they give you these drugs and prescriptions and they get kickbacks and stuff. It goes as far as when you ask for help, they put you in a whole new system that spits you right back out into this one. Do you understand?
Dang, yeah.
So I had the privilege to go to rehab with the help of my parents, and I kind of had my arm bent to go.
What year was this?
This was 2015.
Okay, so I'm just trying to get the timeline. So from about 11 to about 15, you were in it. You were in it.
up until 2012, I was in it. Yeah. Then for that year, 2013, when I lived in California, it was
you were good.
It was a dead space, right? Then when I picked up on school and that incident happened with the car seat, I went right back on it. So that was 2014. Then I graduated 2015, and that's where it started spiraling out of control again.
Okay. It was getting worse. And then 2015, you went to rehab.
And then 2015, I went to a rehab facility, and I'm gonna put it very simple. For some people, these things work. I believe that if you're there, willing, like you want to do this change and make this change, I believe you have a way better chance to succeed at it through rehab. But for the majority of people, and I mean, it was proof while I was there. I went in knowing about 2-3 drugs, and I left knowing about 15 and how I can do them cheaper and where I can get them from and how I can search for them in the black market online. I don't even have to go and put myself in harm's way. I can get stuff delivered to me. You know what I mean?
So they educated you in rehab.
Oh, big time. And they don't even mix alcoholics with eating disorders and heroin users with, opiates. They just put everybody in a group. So now if you're dealing with this one thing, you're exposed to everyone talking about these 4 things. And now you just got everyone's mind going a million miles an hour. And you got to keep in mind, you're going through withdrawals. The first couple of weeks you're there, you are going through withdrawals. So your judgment's clouded. You're not all there. Yeah, whatever they tell you, you'll start believing. That's, I think, the most vulnerable part of this whole rehab facility is those first couple of weeks. If they can instill a program into you or a way of, waking up every morning, doing this, reading that, going to these meetings, doing this, you're going to do those things and you're not going to complain about it. Wow. The only thing I didn't realize till later on is I literally went in there with the bachelor's and I came out with a PhD in this stuff. You know what I mean?
In the dark arts.
Yeah, that's how it transposed to. That's how my next 2-3 years of my life, which were the worst, was a result of the things that I found out while I was in rehab.
Wow.
And that's where I hit another rock bottom and another rock bottom. So,
dude, that real quick, that's home, that's like in prison, where they say that prison just creates better criminals.
It's true. This is no different. Rehab.
And look at them. It's these systems. It's these solutions to crime. It's these solutions to addiction, and they just make you worse, man.
Oh, wow, and once insane. you've paid $30,000 for the month you're there, they spit you back out. The insurance people making their money.
They have no reason. They have no reason to heal you. They have no reason to.
Right.
They'll lose money.
A lot of them use very simple structures like a 12-step program. Or they'll even go as far as using the Bible, but in no manner or way or structure or anything that can benefit the individual long term. They use the Bible because they can say it to people that do walkthroughs over there, like, we implement the Bible. That's automatically a good thing in everybody's eye. Oh, we're sending him there. They got Bible teachings. The Bible teachings aren't that in depth, and they don't really tailor to anything that you're going through. It's just follow this packet by the end of the week. If not, you don't get screen time. You're treated like a child. You're given your medications. Your lights out at this time. It's an institution like the prison, but on the outside. And for the first 2 weeks, you can't go anywhere. And if you want to go somewhere, you have to get approved.